All right, it's your girl AniYa A. Thank you so much to all those who have been watching behind the scenes on Facebook this evening. Let me know if you guys can hear me okay. It's your girl AniYa A. And I'm live here talking about a case that I probably shouldn't be talking about. So for you that's on Facebook, you can be watching me. You'll be able to see my guest come up in just a few moments. We're running behind schedule, and that's not my fault. It's because, check this out, guys. Tonight, we're talking all things YFN, YSL. If you don't know what that means, go Google it now. I already put out my post and I shared with you guys what tonight's topic is going to be. So I need you to do your due diligence, right? I shouldn't be talking about this, especially as a Haitian young woman. For those who know about Haitian parents, hello, everybody that's writing to me on Instagram. If you know about Haitian parents, you'll know that this is a taboo type of subject, but I had to do it. And the reason being is because I tell you guys quite often, I am not just one of those young ladies that went to school and I wasn't affiliated with anything bad. No, it's the quite opposite. I've literally had some real run-ins with some real wild people. And then I have a background in entertainment as well. So hip hop is my love. I literally was supposed to be on these stages doing a whole lot of stuff, but I turned away from the hip hop scene because of how dangerous it actually is. So 20 plus years ago, no, not 20 plus years ago. I'm not that damn old. So approximately 20 years ago, I'm going to share this quickly with you guys. And then my big bro is coming on tonight. So about 20 years ago, I got on a stage, okay? And you guys are going to hear right now my quick story as I'll welcome in my brother in just a moment. I got on a stage. I was invited to an event in downtown Atlanta, and I was a poet already. I was always writing. I was always, expressing my thoughts through writing, because that's what my Haitian mother encouraged me to do. So I said to all my Haitians out there, and if you know anything about Haitian parents, you'll know too that we're not encouraged to be writers. We're not encouraged really to be musicians. We're not even encouraged to let our talent show. It's literally taboo, right? So I got on this stage in downtown Atlanta, and I'll never forget it because I was so pissed off at this guy I was dating at the time. And he was such an asshole, like a lot of men are, not all of you, but a lot of men are typical assholes. And I got on stage and I was just like spitting some lyrics. All of a sudden, there was some music playing, and I was just in my moment, smoking, drinking, partying, whatever, mad. And then next thing I know, I ended up on like flyers as the hip hop empress, AniYa A. And that was the start of my hip hop journey. I'm not going to go too far into it tonight. One day we'll have a whole show about it. But at this time, I wanted to share that. First of all, thank you for tuning in. Let your friends know that your girl AniYa A is live with her big bro, Mr. One and Only K Gutta. Who is K Gutta? He is the engineer. He is somebody I've known for literally since 2003. So that's actually 20 years of my life. We were all young when we all met. In downtown Atlanta, where my career started in the entertainment industry, I literally was like fresh behind the ears or wet behind the ears or whatever those people like to say, right? And I literally, like I said, I would get on a stage or two, and then I just turned into this hip hop person. But during that same time, I met my brother K, aka K Gutta, aka Kel Killer Kel, and he was a rapper. He was doing his thing with the beats and the music, but also he held your girl AniYa A down, and that's what I appreciated and loved most about him. And also those friends that I made in Atlanta that turned into family. Kel is one of them. Tonight, he's going to tell us about his story, but furthermore, he's going to help motivate our community as we talk all things this drug game, this music game, this entertainment game, and what it means for us as a community to try to be more informed, but also to stay away from the trouble. Okay, like Trouble Man? Okay. Here we go, guys. Here we go. We're live with K Gutta himself. Let's see. It says that he is on. Okay. He's joining now. He's joining now from Atlanta. So show love to the ATL. Show love to the ATL right now. Show love to the ATL, right? What's up to all my people in the streets doing their thing in the music industry? Like I said, again, guys, it's your girl AniYa A of the AniYa A Show. One day I'll tell you more of my story, but for tonight, we're talking all things YFN. We're talking all things YSL, Charleston White. There's some things we're not going to talk about, according to my big bro, as we should stay away from certain things. However, for those who know what you know tonight is a very important night because some new developments just occurred in the ATL streets, and that's why we're here now. So without further ado, Mr. Kelvin, aka Killer Kel, is on with us, and the audio is connecting, and so is the video. So he is live with us as we speak, and we're just waiting. Yo, I hear you, but I can't see you, bro.
What's happening?
What's happening? Yeah. Bro,
AniYa A.
What's up, big bro?
What's happening, sis?
Listen, wait, before we even get into it, you already know what happened. Before the show popped off tonight, I got late breaking information. I had to hurry up and tune in to make sure I knew what I was talking about because this whole thing has taken a turn as we talked about. But before we get into the cases and before we get into what is happening today in the ATL court systems and things like that, let's talk about big bro, Mr. Kelvin Gutter. What's up?
Yay. Straight from Atlanta, West Side to be exact, the Bluff, Thurman, Elm, Sunset, James P, Griffin, Neal Street. You heard me?
All day.
That's where I'm from.
All day, Griffin. Yeah. Listen, what zone? Which zone? Tell the people which zone you from. Which zone you rocking?
Zone 1.
For those that
you know the West Side is the best side.
West Side is the best side. Do or die, baby. Look, a lot of people don't understand the zone, especially those that are watching in New York City right now, because in New York we got the boroughs and all of that. But down in the ATL, we got the zones. Tell the people about the zones real quick and why you rock hard with Zone 1.
Born and raised out of, hey, been through so much, so hey, I learned a lot. You feel me?
A lot, yo.
I jumped out the porch at 12, so hey, it is what it is.
It is what it is, and you still here, you still rocking it.
By the grace of God, the Almighty.
All day, and 17 times on Sunday, because this man believes in God, and that's what we're talking about tonight. We're talking about the streets, but we're talking about the beats. We're talking about your life, and we're talking about a very important conversation my big bro, Killer Kel, had a little while ago. So let's get into it. So you represented Zone 1 tonight, right?
Yeah.
Always. And for those that don't know Zone 1, but might have heard it in a song or two or whatever, tell the people what kind of songs you would have heard Zone 1 being repped in, or what kind of what musicians came out of Zone 1 that makes it more I don't know what's the word I'm looking for, more real for them.
I mean, you got a lot of people come up out of Zone 1. You know your boy Curtis Snow.
All right.
You know what I mean? My boy Kurt. You got the twins. You got Rallo. You know what I mean? A lot of people. My boys, Lord rest his soul. DeMarco. They call him Big Mark. All work, no play. You know what I mean? Whole lot of them.
A lot of them. And that's why I do what I do, so people can understand that we do the work, but we also able to maneuver through these streets real good. We still standing 10 toes up, right? We still doing our thing. And recently,
it's a blessing for us to, to be where we came from and to still be here. Like, I'm 41 years old, and I thank God Almighty that I made this long, and being from where I'm from, and growing up, we always thought we make it in the rap game, we out of the streets, but you got some of these young knuckleheads don't know nothing about that. You know what I mean? They don't know the history, you know what I mean? And they take a lot of things for granted. You feel me? Just like when I was locked up with your boy Lucci, I tried talking to him.
Let's say that. Let the numbers grow. Let the people come. because
It's
that
just crazy,
conversation,
man. Like
look,
from where we
Lucci,
come from, like
oh,
I feel like you know, my opinion, like half of our ancestors really died in vain. You know what I mean? To try to make a way for us. You feel me?
and we spoiling it. We just deteriorating their legacies right now, yo.
Exactly.
So let's talk about
Exactly.
it. So growing up, you know, we've had many a heart to hearts, but one of the things that I really wanted to know was like, how did you always stay so positive, right? In spite of everything you was going through, you held your girl down. Like when we met, it was nothing but love from day one. Killer kill, you already know. And I always wondered, like, you out of all of the dudes, like y'all don't know.
Yeah.
They don't want to know all the dudes, but how did you always stay so positive when it came to doing what you did, being in the music game, you know, in and out of look, the pen, you were in and out.
Because when I came home in '05,
Yes, sir.
when I came home in '05, like I got a wake up call, you know what I mean? And my third eye opened.
That
And that's when the Father started speaking to me. So that's why I'm not able to worry about that no more, because I feel like if you worry about it, and that's, you know, that's my opinion, but if you worry about anything that you have no control over, that means you don't trust God. To his word. So that I had to stop worrying about, you know, a whole lot of things and just put my faith in God and let him speak to me and lead me to my destination, to whoever I need to help or however I need to help. You know what I mean? But always never take nothing for granted, and also never let no one to try to use me and try to, you know, manipulate me or whatever. You feel me? So I've been blessed. And I'm so grateful that he caught me at a young age, you know, with
blessed
me
and
having
highly
kids.
favored.
And
How many kids? Tell the
yeah.
people how many kids. Because wait. Let's talk about this. When I met old boy right here, who's only 41, he had about 6 kids. Look, he could have been the baby,
No, at the
but he had
time I had 5.
6. You had how many?
I had 5 when you met me.
5. My boy,
Yeah.
5. And I could have been baby not mama number 6. I was like, nah, bro, you too fertile, bro. You do it, but them kids are beautiful. The kids are beautiful.
But the thing is, I only have 3 baby mamas.
Now,
Well, 2 baby mamas and an ex-wife.
so tell the people how many kids you have now in 2023. I've known you for 20 years.
2023, I have 11 kids, 6 girls, 5 boys.
Y'all see
And
why
I'm
I
blessed
was like, you big bro for
to
life.
have all of them. Matter of
You,
fact, I was just out with with 4 of my kids last night.
I saw the pictures. They are so big and
Yeah.
beautiful. I've
Yeah,
been
they
knowing
all
them,
adults now.
all adults. I've been knowing them since they would knee had a grasshopper. I already know.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm so proud of you, big boy. You doing your thing.
I'm blessed and I'm so grateful to have them. You know what I mean? All of them are either working in major or either in college. You know?
That part.
And I'm so blessed to have that when people thought the worst.
When people thought the worst and counted you out, you were still here doing it.
Yeah.
I love it.
Even them, they thought they would be all pregnant and all on have kids or whatever. My boys would be in jail, but actually, I got 1 finna graduate high school. I got 3 who have already graduated. No, 4 who already graduated and went to college. And I have a daughter, my oldest, she's a psychiatrist for kids, and my other 2 daughters are teachers. So I'm blessed and I'm grateful, and none of them have kids yet.
I'm here for it. I'm here for it. They were like, we gonna wait because daddy had us too young. But let me tell you this, before we get deeper into our conversation, I want to say salute to you publicly because like I said, I've been knowing this man for 20 years and he didn't go nowhere without them babies, okay?
No.
As a 20-year-old man taking care of his children. Let me say that again. 20 years old, 21, 22, 23, in the ATL, young man, always had them babies with him. And I remember them as little bitty things, and they were just as adorable as they want to be. They probably don't remember Titi Anaya. They don't remember me, but he used to bring them by the house, used to keep them fed, used to keep them clothed. And I hope they're watching tonight, or they can watch this after I send you the YouTube link.
Well, you know, I sent it to them too. So, yeah.
They was there. I remember them.
Yeah.
I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud of you
I'm
because
so grateful to have. I thank God for them, you know, and I did their hair, I did everything. And,
everything.
you
Do
know,
they remember
I
that?
talk.
The girls remember?
Yeah.
I'm here
Yeah.
for it. I'm here for it. Look, we could talk about kids all day because you know I love the children. So we're not gonna even go down that road because we'll be on the kids all night.
Yeah.
Just send them my love. TT AniYa says, I am so proud of each and every one of them, and you did
Yeah.
a phenomenal job, right?
But tonight it's about really just learning where we at and where we trying to go. You know what I mean? And for the youth to understand, and for the younger people that are in the music industry to really learn where they at. And
let's talk
you
about
know,
that. And let's talk about that because even as a young man, you started music young. Tell us where that motivation came from.
I started rapping at the age of 13, you know. When I started learning how to do engineer, I started at 16 engineering.
Yes, sir.
You know, and you know, I slung heroin in the bluff. So, you know, that's where I came from. And the biggest person who used to always try to get me to you know, to try to do music and come with them to fly to New York or whatever to do music, I never would do it because I was like, look, I got money. You know what I mean? I'm making money out here. And his name was Jadakiss. That was my brother best friend.
Fact.
So, you know, that boy Kiss taught me a lot, you know what I mean? But I never knew he was a rapper or whatever until I got a little older and, you know, to see what was going on with him.
Fact.
You feel me?
I just
but
ran into
I learned.
I just ran into Jada the other day, and listen, he's still doing his thing, but now he's actually focused on helping the youth. He's doing some stuff.
Yeah.
I'm not putting all the business out.
He do a lot. He do a lot too. You know what I mean? And I just, you know, like I said, he was my brother best friend. So that's how I knew him. Right. You know what I mean? But he always tried to, you know, lead and direct people in the right, you know, in the right position.
Always.
You know what I mean? But at the time, I never knew about it. Right. So I just, you know, I kept it moving. I kept it solid in the streets. You feel me?
X. But you always did your thing with the music. So let's talk about the music game, because let's go right into it. Did you go? Okay, I have to find out because I can't remember. You know, this is 20 years. We've been knowing each other too long. Did you start selling so that you could keep up with the music, so you could pay for the studio time and this kind of third? Or were you already doing your thing to have your money?
Yeah, we had to do that. That's how, you know, that's how I learned. That's how, you know, that's how I learned, and that's how I, you know, kept buying different stuff, you know. And my homeboy, Ashley, you know what I mean? I know you don't like him, but, you know, I'm still solid with him.
Let me tell you something. No, wait. Before you finish, because I know he may see this and be like, I'm coming for 99. First of all, I'll stab him. You already know. He still owes me so much. I don't have a problem with him. I told you. Him and I know butter and oil because he don't respect my gangsta.
But the thing is, he paid for me to be a certified engineer.
And then turn around and screwed us over, us both. Okay. Don't play with me. Kel. Yeah. I'm lying.
Yeah, but that's another story. We gonna talk on that another time.
Go ahead. Keep talking about it, because we don't want to go down that rabbit hole with him tonight. But tell him he need to.
That's right.
I want to interview him because you told me he's doing big things now. So I don't hate the man. I just, when I see him, it's on site. Like you already know. Go ahead.
Yeah. But it's like from coming from the Bluff, Vine City.
Yes, sir.
You know, one thing about my brother, he always taught me, if you're gonna be in these streets, you also gonna put job. You know what I mean? And that's one thing I always try to do. Even though I had to do what I had to do to even make it. because I had my first daughter at the age of 16.
I remember.
Well, she was just born when I turned 17.
Yes, sir.
She was just
she
born.
Was grown. She was big as hell by the time I met her, and we were only 21.
Yeah.
I know. I remember. You were young and
because she was born February 10th, 1999. And we went through a lot. And I like to lost her too.
You had to take care of her. You had to do certain things.
Yeah.
That money.
I like to lost her too in the high-speed chase. My baby was like 3 weeks old. She went through the windshield. So, and I was, they had me dead on the news and stuff, you know what I mean? But I'm so grateful, you know what I mean? I had a little cousin who we ran into. He died beside me in the hospital. But long story short, I done came a long way, done lost a lot of friends, done lost a lot.
Facts.
But I gained so much information, and God has always been there and always taught me a lot. And always spoke to me like how we speaking now. That's how God talked to me, you know what I mean? And man, just to see how things have changed over the years and how the kids and how the whole world have changed over the years is like crazy.
Let me tell you something. Everything's changed. Everything changed.
Because loyalty used to be, from where I grew up, loyalty is everything.
Facts.
And that, the snitching and stuff, that's street code. Hey, you live by the streets, you die by the streets, you know what I mean? But it's, it's so crazy how things change over the years. No one's loyal no more.
No one is loyal. Nobody understands street cred, street love, street business. Like, you can't just be out here just robbing your brothers, like knocking them off, whatever. And then
it was rules. Like, and like where I'm from in Atlanta, there was never no gangs, no Bloods, no Crips. We didn't have none of that. The only thing we had was we had crews, homies, or either squads. You know what I mean? It was never no gang banging, you know what I mean? But even now, they still forget the whole purpose of why we started gangs, why gangs were really started. You know what I mean? Which was in New York and California.
It was family outside of family. You hold me down, I hold you down. That's how it's supposed to be.
Yes, and it was supposed to be for crooked polices and to protect our family and our neighborhood. You know what I mean? Because once we had a Black Wall Street, you know what I mean? But so many of us have sold out from just listening to certain people. They sold out and just gave away what really matters. You feel me?
Absolutely. And that's why we're here tonight, to try to bring it back. For those that are listening, it's your girl AniYa A with my big bro, Mr. Killer Kill. Don't be alarmed by his name. He's a gentle giant. He ain't trying to hurt nobody. For those that's listening, that's hating, listen, we've gone back 20 years, 2 decades. So this is brother, this is family, this is like love right here. He knows the family. He knows like the ins and outs. And one of the things I wanted to do in interviewing you tonight was let the people know that you did some time, right? Let's talk about that, because right now we could be talking about, how we need to keep these young ones that are coming up to stay out of the gangs. But also, and if you want to make music, there's a way to go about it. Let's try to change the game tonight. And then let's talk about that conversation with you and Lucci.
Okay, well, it's like this, man. Like the whole court system, Fulton County court system is really not giving a fuck about you as a Black man. They don't care if you in it or what. You getting sit down the road. Just like with what's his name? Johnny Cochran. He started his law firm here because a lot of innocent men was getting sent down the road because of their lives. You mean like the public pretenders, they are not there to help you beat your cases. They are there to get a plea. You know what I mean? They get bonuses for every plea they get. I had a
Explain
friend
that.
of mine.
Wait. Explain that and break that down for those that agree to this that don't understand. Because when I be breaking stuff down, people think I'm stupid. I make
Okay,
stuff up because I never
it's
did
like
hard
this.
time. I
And
never did hard time.
this is what I know, and this is what I went through. And
Here,
what I, you know, what I, the public pretender who was, you know, who was pretending to help me to you know, beat my case.
facts.
I seen her on the low, and all she was, you know, doing with the DA was like, well, you let me win this case, I'll let you win this case. And you know what I mean? You give me 50,000, you give me 5,000 for this case, I'll give you, you know, this for this case. You know, it's just like it's money.
All
That's all
money.
it's about.
They don't
It's
care about
money. They don't care if you're guilty or if you're innocent. Even if you're innocent, they gonna try to just all the public pretenders there is just to get you a plea.
That's
They
it.
don't care if you. They get a bonus for every plea that you get, even if it's time served. You know what I mean? Like, it's real serious. And a lot of these young rappers, it's a lot of rappers getting locked up right now and catching cases. It's so many rappers are in prison right now. Then you got your boy Lucci, you know, we got the same judge, you know, we was in there together. Like, I just got out August 14th. But the thing is, with Lucci, they so young and don't know that, like, when you at a certain level, because like I said, when we growing up, it's like when we make it, we leave the hood alone because
Leave
we
the
already
hood
done that.
alone. We're not
We
gonna turn
already
our
done that.
back totally, but we're not gonna be in the hood saying dice. You know what I'm saying? Like riding
Yeah,
around those voices and
riding around with a bunch of hood niggas. No, you know what I
no.
mean? Because when you reach a certain level, you gotta elevate your mind and elevate yourself to get away from certain situations, because it doesn't matter where you at. You can be guilty by association. You know what I mean?
That
And it's
part. What's
crazy.
up?
It's crazy. You know what I mean? I'm talking to Lucci. I'm like, you know, and I'm telling him the same thing. And he
Tell
was like,
people who
oh,
Lucci is. Tell the viewers tonight who Lucci is, because we got mad people watching on Instagram. Listen, we got people from Haiti watching right now, like on Instagram. What's up, Gregory Roberts? What's up, Pamela Clark? I'm gonna read your comments. Everybody, send your comments in. We talking to somebody that did time. Literally, he's a rapper, he's an engineer, but the most important thing, he's a motivational speaker tonight on the AniYa A show. He's a father, and he's actually gonna tell us about the conversation he had with Lucci, and they were both up to see the judge. And
yeah.
people need to know who Lucci is. If you don't know, now you're gonna find out tonight. Tell the people, Kel.
Well, yo, you know, Lucci is a rapper from Atlanta. You know, he's used to date Lil Wayne daughter, Reginae. So
Okay.
yeah, so
She's
he's
so
one, you know, he's just got a arrogant mind right now, you know what I mean, and don't really know what he's facing. But one thing I can say about him, he is so fucking solid, and I fucks with him, you know what I mean?
facts.
But he just still not like worrying about the whole situation, you know what I mean? Because
How old is he now? Because I mean, I've known about him, but and he's still like real young and wet behind the ears. He mad young.
yeah, he probably in his 30s. I don't know you know his exact age, but I know he's younger than me. You know what I mean? And with the way you think, with the way he thinks is like way different, because, you know, like I said, I was trying to talk to him about the, you know, when you get to a certain level, it's time for you to just leave the streets alone. And so, cause you know, certain people, no matter who they is or your homeboys, they can be they claim they ride or die all the time, but them be the same ones that want to plot on you because you have what they want. You know what I mean? So you have to be careful about who you deal with. You know what I mean? Even close, because the person close to you kill you quicker than anybody.
Listen,
You know what I mean?
it happens every day, and that's why I'm
Yeah,
glad you shared that. So when you spoke to Lucci and y'all both were going up to see the judge, right? Did he take
yeah,
anything that you said? Like, did he listen to you? Because you are OG.
yeah. He listened.
You listen?
He listened, but I was saying, you know, you just posted a $50 million, a $500,000 bond. And I'm like, you got an anchor monitor. Why in the hell would you be at a strip club 3-something in the morning?
Three
You know what I
something
mean?
in the
So
morning.
yes, I brought the strip club to my house. Fuck that. You know what I mean?
Hello, hello,
Yes. But you
wait,
know, he
look,
hanging with a bunch of hood niggas and ended up
look,
getting locked back up and got, you know, more racketeering charges, and it's crazy, you know. You
look,
already
Westlake, he could have been with us at the house.
yeah. But
No.
and so I'm just talking to him, I'm like, man, you making foolish mistakes. And you know, he went before the judge Cox, you know, and Cox said no bond. And he wasn't even locked up he wasn't even out a whole week before he was locked up again for, you know, this racketeering charges or whatever.
In other
And
words,
he paid a $500,000 bond, cash.
let me ask you something. You think he was just trying to show off, or you think it was just stupidity? Because that to me
It
just
was stupidity because he was still hanging around a bunch of niggas at a strip club. You got an anchor monitor on. I would have stayed at home. You know what I mean? And to me, I feel like you got money to blow like that. Go ahead. You know what I mean? But things changed, and his whole attitude changed when Judge Cox said no bond.
no
You
bond.
feel me? Yeah. And then, you know, a lot of shit he been going through and out, you know, people trying to stab him up or whatever. But he, you know, he got a lot of motherfuckers in Rice Street. he got a whole team in there.
But wait,
But the thing,
but let me ask you something, because for those that don't know as well, he's with YFN or YSL.
he's YFN.
Now, let's break this down, because that's why I took your girl a little longer to jump on tonight, as you know, because I hit your line like, sir, we got late breaking news.
Yeah.
We got late breaking news tonight. And a lot of people don't understand. Like, I'm in the YouTube streets because I'm an old head. Like, I'm all about this information being spread because I want our people to learn. That's why I started my company, Freedom Entertainment Group. When I took an analysis of why are young Black men in the streets selling dope, selling the rocks, etc., the heroin, right? For those that don't know what the heroin is basically heroin. We call it the
Yeah.
heroin down south and everything else. We have to understand something. Like, when I started watching why our young people kept getting locked up, that's when I started my company, because I tell people all the time, Kel, like, I was around the music industry my whole life. From when I was little, I dated one of the biggest DJs out there. I was with a lot of these cats day in, day out. Matter of fact, we partied with a lot of them. Let's talk about that. Let's talk about that. We were always
the thing is, like from my perspective, like growing up, I did that to because I had to. You know what I mean? I had to. I want and not even because I had to, because, you know, my parents, they was always, you know, I was never hungry. You know what I mean? Only when my mom was by herself and she raised us, you know, I practically growed up with my mom, you know what I mean? So
and your grandmama
I
too.
did what I had to do. Yeah.
Grandmama.
Exactly. I had to do what I had to do to try to survive. You know what I mean? It was nights we didn't have shit. It was nights. You know, my mom ate. She didn't eat nothing, but she watched us eat. You know what I mean? And there was time where I was like, no, I'm not gonna eat if you ain't. You feel me? So, you know, it been times we ain't have lights, we ain't have gas. You know, it been times we were kicked out. So growing up, you had to do what you had to do to make it and to survive. You know what I mean? But it was never to be doing it forever. It was to be get enough and get out.
Get enough and get out. I mean? Some of these people don't understand that. They get it and they stay right there.
And then you got 50-year-olds, 60-year-olds still thinking they in the game and they young and they leading the youth wrong. You know what I mean? So it's like crazy.
So let's talk about when we used to be partying with some of these cats. Because you told me, you're like, nah, we was around them. I remember certain people I know we was around Takeoff and them, Quavo. Let me tell
Yeah,
you,
I
everybody
got pictures with them.
listen, what people don't know
Because
is
like I was in the music industry and I was around a
our,
whole lot of them. You know
we
what I mean? Even my
all
boy Pop, I got the chance of meeting my boy before he left this earth. You know what I mean? And drinking with him in
drinking.
Decatur at a club. You feel me? Outside the club, sitting on the club. I mean, sitting on his car. So
Yeah.
I got a chance to meet a whole lot of rappers, and I got a chance to engineer for a lot of people. You know what I mean? I engineer with the really who got me really taught me how is my boy Zaytoven. You know what I mean? And I engineer with my boy Manny Fresh. You know what I mean? I engineer with a whole lot of artists. I rap with, you know, I had my own little rap record label, you know. I backed away from it. AEO Music Group, you know, that's still my
Already,
boy. That's still, you know, hey, that's still the
already,
home team.
whole team. And we
Yeah, you
look,
know,
and people don't know that.
1700 block radio.
Look, the old house was where? Right off of Bankhead, right off of
Westlake,
Gibson.
Westlake, Martin Luther King.
Body
Simpson Road.
this is around Bankhead.
Simpson. Yeah. Yeah.
People don't know. So when you reminded me that we used to be around all of them, I was like, it makes sense because I felt the vibe from day one. And you know, I was always out there in the streets or whatever. Thankfully,
Yeah.
I want to share this, and I think the same thing goes for you too. Neither one of us never joined a gang because it wasn't like that then. It was not like gang activities. It was the clique, the homies.
That's it.
Okay?
That's it. But you know what? What I represent, ICVC. That's what I represent. You feel me? I'm an insane civilian from the Bluff Vine City. You feel me? That's all I always been, an insane civilian. You feel me? I represent IC. So it was never no gangs though. We had homies, cliques, crews, squads. That was it.
That's
You
it.
know, that was it.
Listen, we got some comments coming in. Yo, look at that. We got my people watching right now. Thank you for everybody that's watching and checking in. Send more comments. Now I got a chance. Matter of fact, some of the comments disappeared, but I'm gonna read. Somebody just said, look, I'm gonna mess this one up. David Javadius. I hope that's Javadius Walker. Maniac checking in. Speak, my boy. I guess this is your homie. He said that's why I'm behind the scenes because none since you've been around ever. Okay, every artist from GA. So that's why he's behind the scenes. Javadius, please rewrite that. I think there's a typo here or whatever. But since you haven't been around, I'm assuming, you know, and he might be an artist from the GA. I don't know who he is, but that gotta be your peeps. Shouts out to Mr. Walker. Then we got Kevin Clark. I know that. That's why if you have the money, you should get a real good lawyer. Don't trust these public defenders because they don't care nothing about you. Wait,
Yes.
caveat, wait.
Yes.
Even the ones that you hire for 50, 60, 75 stacks, they don't give a damn about none of us. I'm trying to tell you, because they make more money locking us up and making these deals with the judges and anything.
Just like I mentioned this to you one time, AniYa. I got a little homie who I was locked up with. He was fighting a murder case.
Back.
You know what I mean? And the murder case was a pure accident. And the thing is, the police left him, the police let his best friend die. You know what I mean? They let his best friend die. When he was giving them CPR, they pushed him off him and they did not even call the ambulance. But with that being said, he went to court and he was fighting this case. And this is years after we done got out and everything. You know what I mean? He's still fighting the case. So he goes up in.
That's important for the age. Remember, the age is very important.
This right here is Fulton County Jail, Fulton County Courthouse. So he goes up in the Fulton County Courthouse with a security guard suit on. And you know, his lawyer and the DA was discussing cases and everything, and they thought he was just a regular, you know, sheriff that works in the court. And they was mentioning stuff on different cases, and paying, just distributing money for different cases. Like, your life doesn't even matter to them. It's just whether they get paid.
Remind
what I
us
mean?
his age, because the little homie was young as hell. Don't forget.
Yes, this was 2000. This was 2004. 2004, way before I came home. When I came home in 05, I got arrested in 03. And with that being said, like, my boy was young. You know what I mean? He ain't know nothing about the system, but that's when God started speaking. And I feel like the Father put me in certain position where I can only speak to certain people he wants me to speak to, because they will listen to the voice that I have. You know what I mean? And that's why the Father put me in that position, so they can hear my voice. And right now, me and this guy, man, we've been hanging. That's my little bro. You know what I mean? Ever since then, you know what I mean? And that been years ago.
And he was younger than you even then.
Yeah, yeah.
Wasn't he like 16?
He just had turned 18. He was 17, then they put him in population when he turned 18. You know what I mean? But my boy was going through a lot. You know what I mean? He just lost his best friend, like his best friend. And, both of them were playing with a gun that they had, and it just accidentally went off.
Yet they took him in, and they didn't help the young man.
They let him die. They let him die, and they could have saved him. But
that part.
The thing is, when he was fighting his court case, I always told him, and he even called me when he was in there, when they was talking about, well, Shaquan need to take these 10 years or his ass gonna get life. This his lawyer talking to the DA about his case. So he instantly called me, and they did not know that he was in the courtroom. They thought he was one of the officers in the court.
Or an attorney with a suit on.
Yes.
Snazzy.
No, he had a security guard suit on. Oh, that's why they thought he was one of, yes, and they thought he was one of the marshals that be in Fulton County courts.
It makes sense.
And he was sitting, because he had to go to court that day. He was sitting and he was just listening. And his lawyer told the DA, well, Shaquan need to go on and take this 10 years for his ass end up in prison. You know what I mean?
Ain't that so?
The thing is, yes, and the thing is, these lawyers be like, well, you give me $5,000 for this case, I'll let you win the next case. Or, it's crazy how the system is right now. And it's over it's over thousands of young people, and even innocent people who really are innocent down the road right now because they're loyal. And I had, when I was going to court one time, and I had a real crazy case, you know what I mean? And my judge was impressed by how I spoke, because, you got the polices and you got your lawyer telling you to be quiet and shh, don't say nothing. And, I speak out, because my one thing, her name was Stephanie B. Manis. That was my judge. And she said, you know what? I'm surprised at you, and I'm so proud of you to being one Black person in here that would not let their lawyer speak for them. Because half of these people are letting their lawyer send them down the road. You know what I mean? And they're not really their lawyer. They're just public pretenders. They're there to get a plea.
I love when you say that. My dude says public pretenders. Now let's talk about how these young cats need to stay out of the system. And real quick, to the person that just said stop, right? So Bet, I'm in all these group chats, and that's why I like to do what I do. So everybody keeps sending your comments, let me know where you're watching from, etc. Because this has to be addressed, right? Yes. Everybody that is in these group chats don't understand, right? When I get my production team, there's gonna be much more circulation of the AniYa A show in regards to this commentary. Tonight is a very important story that we're covering, but it's also a life lesson and a motivational piece for our young Black men, especially, whom do not have access to motivation, who are in the streets, who don't understand what's going on. Like, we're talking about some real serious stuff. You have a young man here, 41 years old, who's explaining his life story, being in the entertainment industry, doing time, trying to talk to a very famous hip hopper about staying out of the streets and doing the right thing, who literally could have been not arrested again had he listened to some good sound advice. But because he wants to be flashy and go to the strip club at 3 o'clock in the morning, he didn't think that nobody was watching him. Understand something, we're all being watched 25/8/366. And for you, whoever you are with the 203 phone number, I'm gonna put it out on blast for you to be like, stop. First of all, who put me in a group message? I'm sharing this live with all my chats, all the people in every single group message right now on Facebook, on Instagram, and on all of my phones. I have 3 different phones because I want people to hear Kel speak, and we need to motivate our Black youth especially. My main consensus is nobody is talking about the truth. A lot of Black men, and I have to say this because I get upset, a lot of Black men do time and they don't want to help the young men coming after them.
The thing is, the youth, you don't see no more powerful people who stand up. You don't see no more leaders, big leaders. You barely see them. You know, you don't see no more Martin Luther King. You don't see no more Malcolm X, people who really meant something, or Al Sharpton, or, you know, you don't see all of the big faces who speak and teach.
Let me share this. Let me share.
The thing is, hold up.
Okay, go ahead.
The thing is, and it's been like this for a long time, to program your mind.
That part.
They don't want us to think about money, cars, clothes, hoes, and all this here, you know, instead of taking back what's belonged to us. Because we built this shit. We came over here as slaves and built this shit. You feel me? And they take credit for everything that we do.
Every damn thing
and
we do.
If you take the Black man out of the home, how can he instruct his kid? How can he teach his kid knowledge, wisdom, and understanding? You feel me? So first you got to take them out. It's all brainwashed. Take the man out the family. They tell the women you can't have no man. You can get on Section 8, but you can't have no man living with you. You feel me? you can get checked from the state, but you can't have no man living with you. You know what I mean? So that already destroys the family, because way back in the days, like, I grew up watching my grandfather work his ass off. You feel me? Watching my father work his ass off. You know what I mean? And my stepfather hustling his ass off. You know what I mean? Doing what he had to do. And it's like, when you take the Black man out the family, they cannot instruct his kids. You throw a Black man in jail, how can he teach his kid anything? And now his kids in the streets, hanging with gangs, listening to other people who leading them wrong, and they comfortable with that, you know what I mean? And they end up in jail. So they even have kids and end up in jail. So it's a cycle. It's a cycle which we all must break, you know what I mean? And, you know, we got a lot of them destroying our youth. We got a lot of them destroying our...
By design.
Yes, even our women's, you know, they destroying our women's. You got more women popping their ass or doing whatever on YouTube and on IG, whatever it is, you know what I mean? And they rather show their body out. But when I grew up, that was sacred, you know what I mean? So you were and we never say, well, our women was bitches or hoes and all. Never, you know what I mean? We always say they're queens. But now, you know, it's so irate now. Like, we don't have respect for our women's, you know what I mean? And we don't understand the cycle, and we don't understand the brainwash mentality that they got us at. You know what I mean?
And that's why it's imperative for me to do this type of show, because, you know, a lot of people hate me, and I ain't gonna hold you. Like, I'm even in groups with people right now that can't stand me because I keep it 100. Like, I speak truth to power. And what you just said, we have to reinforce. And that's why you're on here tonight. Because irregardless of the time that you did, irregardless of everything you've been through, you have a backbone and you have a mouthpiece to speak truth to power, Kel. And a lot of people are so afraid because guess what? Their hands is dirty. Their hands is dirty and they don't want to talk about it. Mind you, I'm not a martyr. I'm not trying to come up here to sit there and get attacked by these people, because all they want to do is attack us when we talk about it. But let's be real with it real quick. Where are the Black leaders?
They got their mouth closed. because they feel they scared.
Not only they
You know what I
scared,
mean?
but they get instead by the wrong people. And
Yeah,
right now, I'm a
that's what
part
it
of
is.
something that I can't even talk about publicly, and I refuse to because I'm already a target. Because when I open my mouth, it's a threat. I got people talking about me in groups right now as we speak, hell, because I'm telling the truth. I'm telling the truth, right? But as soon as we try to do our best for our own people and give back, we become targets and they take us out. But the Jews could do it all day. They have their own system. They have their judges. They have the educators.
Yes.
They have the
Yes.
police squad. Matter of
And
fact,
the thing is,
go ahead.
The thing is, what we don't understand and what we don't know, they ain't gonna tell us. And another thing, they have their own law.
And
You know what I mean?
you're fading out all of a sudden because I said the Jews.
they have their own laws.
Thank you.
And
It's crazy because what we don't know, they're not gonna tell us. They have their own law. You know, Caucasian, they have their own law.
I have seen on YouTube, and matter of fact, it was on the news one time.
Facts.
And
They was in a courtroom with this little white girl. She had killed somebody, and they said, "We're gonna charge you as an African American male." So you know what? You know how
You're
that shit
breaking up.
is.
You're breaking up.
they said it was on. They was in court, and they said to this little white girl that they're gonna charge her as an African American male. You feel me? They had they had their own laws for
Can I tell you something? First of all, let's shout out Ernab, Latif, Lavalas, I think. Listen, these names tonight are a lot. Ernab Sakase, I think you're Haitian. I'm not 100% sure, but this name is so different. Hi, AniYa. Happy New Year, sister. This is Vital. So happy New Year to you, my dear. And as you just said that about that child, we got another comment from Cheetahwaga Buffalo, my big sis, who said, just heard about a 6-year-old that took a gun to school and shot the teacher. How a 6-year-old could bring a gun to school and kill a teacher is beyond me.
Because a lot of stuff that we don't
see and that we don't pay attention to, they're being programmed through the cartoons, through, we gotta watch what our kids really are doing. You know what I mean? And I think like even now when we was growing up, AniYa, we never sat behind a computer or we never played on the video games all day. Our thing was to go, when we get out of school, we clean our room and go outside.
Go outside, burn out some of that
Go
energy.
outside.
and we be begging to go outside.
Look, and smell like outside. Kale,
Yeah.
smell like outside to come in and take a shower.
But you better have your ass in before the lights come on. You know, it was different. You know?
You're breaking up again. You're breaking up again.
Yeah, I said, it's like you better have your, it was like our parents, like you better have your ass in before done.
That's it.
Everything was different. I always wanted to go outside. Like, you got a lot of kids
Don't even know what kickball.
They play it on their phones. They play football on their phones. They play soccer on their phone. They play basketball on their
But
kickball is different from football. Kickball, dodgeball.
The girls were hula hooping and
every game is on their
scotch.
Every game is on their phone. And you know what? That's the plan, because you know what's so crazy?
But I have asked a lot of young kids, do they know what those type of games are? They was like, what? What are that?
You know what I mean? So it's like, it's different. The youth is different from where we were.
Stay right there. You sound good right there. Where you stay right there, because otherwise it's interfering. Go ahead.
Yeah. The youth is different right now, you know what I mean, from where we came from. And I asked a lot of kids about that. Do they know what hopscotch or tag or stuff like that? What?
You went silent on us. You muted yourself. You muted yourself. Unmute. Unmute your phone. It's on mute. There you go.
Yeah, because car.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well,
But you know,
go ahead.
like I was saying, you know, it's way different from how we grew up, you know what I mean? But the thing is, we gotta reprogram ourselves. You know what I mean? And that's what, and I feel like if you in the, like, I done did the whole music industry. I done had, you know, I done did the bread, but I don't like to talk about my past. You know, I'm always gonna try to talk about my future and what I'm trying to do now. I'm just, you know, trying to build a foundation for my kids so they won't have to struggle or go through the things that, you know, I don't want things to be given to them. You know, like my oldest daughter, I tried to buy her a car. She was like, "No, Dad, I don't want you to buy me no car." And I'm so proud of her because she bought it on her own. And she said, and I asked her why. She said, "Because I don't want nobody to say that my daddy did this for me. My daddy did that for me," which I know what my dad'll do, but I want to get it on my own so I can say, ain't nobody bought me my own car, my first car. You know what I mean? And I was proud of her for that. So, and I kind of understood it. You feel me? So it's like we got to start from the roots where we came from. Like,
That part.
man, back in the days, man, we used to help each other as blacks, as a community. You know, we used to help each other. Is one fall down, you know what I mean? But now we like crabs in the bucket. One climb up, you got one trying to pull you down. You know what I mean? When we supposed to work together.
It's by design. And one of the things I wanted to go back on is the fact that these young people have too much access to these guns, but where they getting the guns from? See, one of the things, and you just mentioned Al Sharpton, right? And I know Al Sharpton very well. I'm with him every week. I don't know if you know this, but I'm under his leadership at the National Action Network. And one of the things that he says very vividly is that we as blacks do not make guns in our hoods. Let me repeat that. We don't make guns in the hoods of zone 1, zone 2, zone 3, zone 4, zone 5. We don't make guns in none of the boroughs of Brooklyn, Queens, Staten Island, New York City, Harlem, Bronx, whatever. Where they come
Okay.
from is the NRA, and they're strategically being placed in certain places so that we can utilize them to destroy ourselves. Now, do we have the choice?
Exactly. For the
We
youth
got
to
the
get them.
choice though. But
For
guess
the
what?
youth to get them. And you got to think about, like, you hear half of the like, it's a conspiracy everywhere. You hear like you hear pawn shops or whatever getting hit for guns, and who you think putting them there? Who you think telling these people, "Oh, okay, go do this"? You know what I mean? Because I'm gonna tell you straight up, I ain't scared of now. I fear nobody but God. When
Nobody.
I was a youngin', you know what I mean? And you know, I used to do my thing. I had a U-Haul full of hot shit. You feel me? And I have a dirty police car on Reebok. Yeah, I'm gonna speak. Reebok pulls up on me and tell me, "Hey, look, either you or the truck." I said, "Shit, you can have that motherfucker.
Have
This is a police." And he in Oakland City selling everything that I had on the truck. You feel me?
that
So
part.
you have a crooked, you know, you have a crooked polices everywhere. You don't know who to trust. You feel me? So so you have, and these officers having certain people to do certain things. Okay, go and hit this pawn shop, get all these guns and do your thing. You feel me? Just pay me off so I won't, you know what I mean, have to do or whatever. You know, you got police that take your whole bomb and give it to somebody else. Somebody else they know on the street.
They already know, because at the
It's
end of the day,
crazy.
it's all working against us and not for us. You know what, big bro, we could be here all night. Let's talk about this real quick. First of all, where can people follow you? Because you have some, great insight. You're motivating us tonight. Where can people follow you on social media and all of that real quick before we drop some more information?
Well, you know, I'm on you can find me on Facebook. You know, my shit is Kevin B25. I don't, you know, I'm kind of like how you say it, antisocial. because because you know, certain people I don't deal with, certain people I don't, you know, I ain't gonna say I don't like, because I like everybody. I love everybody. It's just certain energy I don't tolerate, and certain people I don't. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. And you've been doing this too long. You already know what it is.
Yeah, yeah. So
I'll be like, what it is, what it was, what it will be.
I just stay out the way. You
All
know what I
day.
mean? I stay out the way because my biggest motivation right now is providing for my kids and teaching them what, you know, what I learned and what I had to go through. You know what I mean? Like even my boys being, you know, being grown, handsome young men, you know what I mean? And teaching them like about situations, how you can be here in Georgia, you know what I mean? You can, somebody don't even know you can run up and take a warrant out on you and say you did this, but you didn't do shit. You know what I mean? And you will sit in Rice Street for a long time.
I remember them days.
Just to fight your innocence. You feel me?
I remember
Just to
them
fight
days.
your innocence. And you don't even know these people, but they say you did this just because they know your name. You know what I mean? They heard your name for somebody, or you was doing something, you was shining, and somebody, you know, I had to teach my son that. You know what I mean? Because he got falsely accused. You feel me?
Ain't Atlanta the only place they could do that? Like literally charge you for no reason and have you sit there? Because I ain't never seen nothing like that.
Yeah.
I remember a lot of our people went down like that.
Yeah, it's serious.
They gotta wait to see the judge.
Yeah.
So real quick, let's end it with this, right? So before we got on tonight, right? I got mad comments in here. Thank y'all for sending your comments. Thank you so much, Pamela. Pamela says, if you wait. Dang, that's a long one. All right. It's the parents not doing these games with the children. It starts from the home. Absolutely. When these parents neglect their children be in the streets doing whatever they want. And that's how we gotta start it from the home.
But see, one thing I want to say, you can't really blame the parents, because if the kid's not telling and not being 100 with their parents, and they listening to somebody else in the streets, you can't blame the parents. You know what I mean? This thing is, man, this go way back. It's a form of brainwashing. You know what I mean? It's been going on for years, and you got to look at it. You know what I mean?
Right.
Now, just like, okay, like I said, when you take the man out the family, how can he raise his children?
He can't.
You know what I mean? He can't. How can he teach his son right from wrong when you take him out of the house? But that white man, he gonna take his son, he gonna tell him, son, you gonna do what I do, you gonna be the president after me, I'm gonna be the president, you know what I mean? You gonna do this and you gonna do that. You feel me? And it's crazy. So you got to see who's in the family, who's in the house, who's in the household.
So tell, since you are an active father, before we get back into this case, tell the men that are watching, the Black men, the brothers, what they can do to be more present in their children's life, even if they have problems with their wifeys, with the baby moms, because it's about the future. A lot of times people focus so much on the relationship, they don't focus on the babies. Tell them how they can be more active.
The thing is, I love my women, but they are just incubators. I love my women. We have more.
Look, I know.
We have more. We have more rights than we would know. But it's up to us to know. And you know, like I said, if no one tells you this, how would you know? You know what I mean? So it's like, you know, you have certain women that if you don't do this, well, you can't see your son. And, you know, I went through that. You can't see your children or whatever because you won't do a certain thing, or you won't bow down to that level, or you won't come back to them. You know, you have to be smart. Deal with the courts. You know what I mean? Like I had one guy who thought he was, you know, who his girl thought she was just gonna put him on child support. No, he went and put himself on child support. He put himself on child support, and he got custody. He got, you know, partial custody just to have his kids certain time when he want to. You know what I mean? And even when you're married, you know, when you're married, that's a whole different story.
Facts.
That's a whole different story, because when you're married, man's got all the rights to be with their kids, to have their kids, to come pick them up, to do whatever they want with them. You know what I mean? And it's only set by a court order. But like I said, with like, you know, I have grown up with a lot of people, a lot of men that said, well, it ain't my kid, fuck that bitch, they ain't mine. But I know my kids and I love my kids to death and I thank God for them. So with me being with them and growing with them and watching them grow and watching them blossom, all of them, it's like, how could any man could say that about a child? You know what I mean? Who at the end of the day look at them like my oldest, like when she was young, I was her fucking Superman. Like I was her favorite rapper. Like I'm still her favorite rapper right now.
I
You know,
know.
besides Eminem. You know what I mean? Like serious. Like my daughters, they motivated me the most. You know what I mean? Like my oldest son, they are motivation to me. You know what I mean? Like one time I remember I was going through so much shit. I drove my car off a bridge and my daughter called me on the phone and said, Dad, what you doing? I said, man, sitting in this car looking fucking stupid. And she said, you know what I mean? And it's a lot of things that I took for granted. But to see them and to watch them and to have them to have that much love for me, like it's shit amazing. And I'm so grateful for it. You know what I mean? So man, I got a 15-year-old who is 6'7" right now. You
I
know what I
know.
mean?
That shit threw me.
He
Well,
is 15.
but let me
He
just
is
share this.
6'7".
Let me share this.
A beast.
Big Bro is not the tallest of the group.
I'm 5'8". My oldest son is he's 6'5". His little brother is 6'7".
And your girls are like 5'8".
They shorter than me.
They shorter than you?
Yeah, they shorter than me.
I
They're
thought
probably like
taller.
5'6", 5'5".
They tall though, still for women's. They taller
Yeah,
than
but
me.
my two oldest boys are the tallest. They are tall. You feel
Listen,
me?
that dude, Kel, you make great children, ginormous children. Listen, before we end it, and I love that we're ending it like this because I gotta finish. I have a couple of listen. I never stop working. I told you, Kel, I'm building a studio out here. I got a lot of stuff that I'm working on. And of course, we're gonna do this face to face once everything's set. Trust and believe. Your girl never stop. You already
Yeah.
know.
But one thing I want to say, AniYa, it starts with us as Black men. You know what I
Absolutely.
mean? We gotta uplift our women. It start with us as Black men to get back in position where we belong. You know what I mean? Fuck the selling out. Y'all can have that. I'd rather stand for God.
They could have that BS that they running, and that's why I
Yeah,
want to on this because right before we came on tonight, that's why it took me a hot minute because I wanted to hear as much as possible about the cases that's going on now in
yeah,
regards to this drug game, the RICO charges, and everything. We're not gonna talk about everything because we don't need no heat. But the bottom line is this: how can people avoid the nonsense? Let me tell you something. We got YFN against YSL. We got Gunna taking mad like deals so that he don't get locked up. Gunna now sitting pretty, whereas Young Thug is about to be locked up. You said something so pivotal, and I want you to break it down because you said it starts with us Black men, and we
yes,
need more positive Black men to stand up. For those Black men that are watching now or who will be watching, if you are in business for yourself, if you're an attorney, if you're a doctor, if you're an engineer like my brother here, whatever it is that you're doing that's positive and your hands are not dirty, call your girl AniYa A at 833-334-6468, 833-334-6468, extension 4 or extension 8. Either way, you're going to reach me on 833-334-6468, or you can just DM me here because I want to put more positive Black men in front of the camera because there's so many out there. I have several platforms, the AniYa A show, which you guys can see here, but I also have Team ECI when it comes to the financial industries for us young Black people that don't know nothing about investments. We need you leaders on the forefront. And furthermore, I also have the Black Women's documentary that I'm working on, which actually helps to build up the Black man too in the family more. Because a lot of
yes,
times, and I have to share this, Black men suffer in silence. But in regards to the RICO charges, you said something so powerful, Kel. You said, which I didn't know exactly all of this stuff because, like I said, I never did time like that. I got arrested last year for my people in regards to Haiti. It was a civil disobedience case. I almost did a year. You understand what I'm saying? For my
Yeah.
people. And yet Biden still don't give a damn about nothing I did for a whole year trying to help these Haitian immigrants. But that's another story. You
Yeah.
said even if all 30 or 15 or whatever cases get dropped, if you get one RICO charge, oh boy, it's going down for at least 20.
For at least 20 or life.
Write
If
that
he
down and explain that so Black men and women can understand how serious these situations are when you do the wrong thing.
It's like this here. If they can't get you on one charge, they're gonna try to get you on something else. You know what I mean? That's why they give you so many cases. Like for a murder case, if you get a murder case, you get felony murder, aggravated murder, you get you know, involuntary manslaughter or whatever. If they can't get you on one case, they're gonna try to get you on another case. You know what I mean? Like racketeer can be a whole bunch of charges, you know what I mean? All different kinds of charges, you know, but it's like you got your hands in all of this shit. So if they can't get you on one, they're gonna try to get you on. Is you know, they're trying to get him life without parole. They're trying to get my boy life without parole. But the thing is, the thing is, and especially when you got a lot of so-called friends turning state. You feel me? That's why I say loyalty ain't shit no more. Loyalty don't mean nothing to nobody because they really don't know what loyalty means.
At
You
all.
feel me? They don't know at all. You know, back in the day, you keep your mouth shut, they can't fuck with you. But they don't know won't hurt them. You feel me? But now you got all the youngest telling. You
They don't
got
know
all,
what it is. They don't know
and
what
when
it
they
is sometimes.
and when they hear that life sentence, they like, oh yeah, okay, so he did it. My grandmama was over there trying to help him too. So you know what I mean? You need to go and look at her and lock her up. You know what I mean? They telling on their grandmama, they telling on mama, dad, everybody. You feel me?
Lady, the bag lady, the
Yeah,
nigga down the road.
it's crazy, man. So you just gotta be careful who you call your friend, who you call loyal. You know what I mean? Cause ain't nobody loyal. You feel me? It ain't but one crew that I seen loyal, and I ain't gonna, you know what I mean? I ain't gonna speak on them. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Cause my boy, my boy, man, they are loyal, and he went down for his own shit. You feel me? And he stood as a Black man, and he's still locked up right now. You know what I mean? It ain't but one family. You know what I mean? One Black family. But we ain't gonna get into that. You feel?
I'll get into that tonight. Look, you already told the people what it is, what it was, and what it will be. It's your girl AniYa A with your boy K Gutter. We did this thing tonight. We got more than 15 comments. Look, we got like 50 comments between Instagram and Facebook. You got people still writing in. If you guys want to see more of Mr. K Gutter, let your girl AniYa A know because he has done the time and he could talk about it, but he could also help motivate and help you all understand what it means to be a family man and give back to his community. But furthermore, he spoke with Lucci himself and he was able to inspire this young man. But of course, Mr. Lucci didn't listen because he wanted to be about them streets and he wanted to be about them strippers. So what did he do? He went out 3 o'clock in the morning, he got busted. But that's neither here nor there because as you can see, this case is unfolding as we speak, and Young Thug may do life behind bars. And for what? For what reason? The bottom line is
Awesome.
what?
And you know, they did an interview with him long before he even got, you know, before he went to prison. And it was like they was telling Thug, you know, you got a chance to change a whole lot of people.
Whole life.
Yeah, change their life and make a difference. But if you keep ending up doing certain shit or being in certain areas or affiliating with certain people, your ass gonna end up in prison. Now look at him now, he facing some serious charges. And the thing is, you got a chance, if you got a chance to change somebody's world and change somebody's life for a positive and to be a blessing
That's
to
the
them.
bottom line. Did he?
That's
Okay,
it.
did he said it to a rapper. I don't remember exactly who, but I heard the interview where Young Gutter or Young Thug was like, stay out of trouble because it's not worth it. But then you going down for RICO charges? Make it make sense, black men.
It's bigger than RICO charges. You know, you got murder charges too. You know, it's a lot. You know what I mean? And between both of them, they like, I don't want to too tough speak on it, but they both really beefing for nothing. You
For
know what I
nothing.
mean?
And this is the bottom line. No love in the streets. When we was growing up, like I said, I'm older than what I look, right? Bet. We older than what we look. Because Kel, you still look good, bro. Hey, bro,
Yeah, you know, hey, man.
just get out there. Wait, after 11, 12.
I got so much gray in my face, man.
Nah, bro, you looking good after these 16 little youngins, sir. I just got one.
Yeah.
I just got one, sir. But look, you look
Yeah.
bro, because black don't crack. But no, all jokes aside, as we about to shut it down, what I want these black men to understand is back in the day, it was not like this. But here's the bottom line. Everything has been watered down too. Society is not what it used to be. We used to have cliques, we used to have love in the streets. But either way, you would never see me touching no dope. You would never see me touching nothing that's gonna get me caught up because my mom
Yeah.
taught me better. My daddy told me I couldn't be a stripper. I couldn't be in these streets showing off and being hood nasty. None of that was
No, because that's what that's what they program us to do, to downgrade our women, and you know, to think that money, drugs, and women, and you know, cars and clothes is the way of life, and it's not. You know what I mean? The way of life is being black-owned business. The way of life is teaching your kids how to build their own foundation. You know what I mean? And to understand that there's a lot of bunch of crooked officers out there, and you know, and a lot of different other people who wants us not to make it, you know, wants us in jail or prison, or
because
wants
they're
us dead.
profiting off of our pain. And you know what? That's how we're gonna end it tonight.
Exactly.
Let us
one thing for certain, one thing for certain.
Shola.
The black melon is what they want.
They want that black melanin because you know what?
We dominate everything.
Everything. Look, they can't multiply us. They can't duplicate us. We are one of a kind. Our genetics is so powerful, and that's what they hate. And you know what? I just got a message from Attorney Ben Crump. Let me share this. Much love to Attorney Ben Crump. He still loves your girl AniYa A. We're gonna still fight for justice. I hit him up like, sir, what's really going on? So I'm not gonna share exactly what he said, but y'all can see it for yourself. I just got a message from the one and only Attorney Ben Crump, who just replied to your girl. And the bottom line, and the last thing he said, shouts out, salute to this king, who's a father, who's a lawyer, who travels the world fighting for justice. Because you said Cochran earlier, because Cochran was going to take on your case. And as you know, Cochran and Ben Crump are partners in a lot of different things to this day. Not Cochran the man, because he's passed on, but his law firm, just to let you know. So here's the beautiful
It's still here in Atlanta, Georgia.
He's still here. And guess what? Ben Crump gave me access to Cochran attorneys too. But God is so faithful, because a year ago, let me just share this for those that don't know. You know, we were supposed to shut it down. He sent me this message. So I got to read the last sentence so people don't think I'm lying. Let me tell you this. Last year on the 9th of January, let me share that there was a major fire in the Bronx. And it just so happened that tonight I'm talking to my Black brother. There was about 19 victims that died in a building in the Bronx, right not too far from where I'm at, not too far from my office in Harlem. You know, everything is interconnected. And I want you to understand something. Ben Crump took that case. And I can't go into 100% detail of what your girl AniYa A knows, but I'll let you know there's a lot of grimy Negroes in these streets. But Ben Crump is the realest, and he is out here. And the last thing I'm going to say is this. He says, but I always want you to call us to see if we can help defeat injustice. That's the last sentence. I'm not going to say the first part of this message because it's something we were working on, but I want you to know he always wants me to call to try to put in a case for my people. So that's a public statement. That is a quote from the one and only Attorney Ben Crump, who's listening now, God willing, and he sees the work that we put in. And as a Black Black man, I want to publicly salute him, because even though he's not available to do motivational speeches every single day, and he's not available around the clock, let me tell you something. When this man speaks, the world shuts down. If you've ever seen him speaking, you'll understand the magnitude of his reach. So I had to share that. Thank you so much, Attorney Ben Crump, for making me feel better tonight, because I was like, what did I do wrong, Jesus? He just confirmed it. Your girl AniYa A is still good, excuse me, with Attorney Ben Crump. He has over 500,000 followers on Facebook alone. I don't even know how much on Instagram, because I didn't even bother to look. Attorney Ben Crump, you all right with your girl AniYa A. Listen, God is faithful, and I'm so happy we did this tonight. To the victims of the Bronx Tower fires, I love you. I'm still praying for every family that's still standing strong. We're still here. We're looking to see what the outcome is going to be in regards to this case, because people got done wrong when they complained about the building. When they try to get help, nobody helped them. And 19 people have to have been buried because of that. And that's horrible to me. Children included, big bro. And that's not right. But we're going to end this on a positive note. We love you, big bro. We know that you eating right now. My ATL, Shotty. What is you eating? My ninja, what is you eating, Kel? Nah, don't put the camera off now. I see you. What is you eating? Some collard greens, some fried chicken, some fish. Listen, my brother said we've been on here for a hot minute. He been working all day. He had to eat his plate. With that being said, you already heard from my big brother. Thank you to Attorney Ben Crump for coming through with that message. I appreciate you, sir. And I'm glad that you sent me that message at the 10 o'clock hour, because I got to read that publicly. And I'm so thankful that you still here for everything that your girl AniYa A be sending you, because I'm trying my best on my side to make a difference in the society. So to my big bro, I know you gotta eat that plate, sir. And I guess he just had to get off real quick because that food was too good. But you guys already know we've been with Killer Kale, aka K Gutter, for a hot minute, and we were able to communicate everything that he wanted us to talk about on tonight. So with that being said, we're gonna shut it down, and we thank each and every one of you for tuning in. Pamela Clark, hats off to you. Let me read the last comment you sent in. Hold on, Pamela. Hold on, Pamela Clark, because my sister was here from the minute we started. And the last thing I'm gonna read is, thank you for speaking the truth, which I know you're talking some good truth. Absolutely. I had Mr. Cochran, and they injected him with a brain tumor, I heard. Listen, the way he passed on, honey, that's in our own color that they turn on us. Absolutely. If the government don't stop all these different kinds of trafficking and all that's out there, that part, honey. So that's why I say it starts at home. A lot of men disrespect their women in front of their children, broken homes. Absolutely. But you know what? Hopefully people like Ben Crump will help change the narrative. With that being said, good night. I love each and every one of you. Attorney Ben Crump, we love you and we appreciate you. Salute to you, sir. It's your girl AniYa A, and we're shutting it down for now. Bye-bye.